Well, hey there, sugar. Did my star catch your eye, or was it maybe just me? I'm just kidding there. Interested in my honey? I promise you it's the best you'll ever have. There are a couple other honey stalls at this here farmer's market, but none of them put the love and care into their bees that I do. If you don't mind me asking, do you have a few minutes? I'd love to go into detail about all the honeys I have for sale, but I don't want to hold you captive if you got places to be. Well, ain't that just dandy? Then park yourself right here for a spell and I'll tell you all about it. First thing I do have to tell you is that this here honey ain't mine. That is, it was made by regular old bees, not by me or any other bee folk. You're not disappointed, are you, sugar? Oh, I'm just poking fun, sweet pea, but yes, unfortunately, I can't sell any of my own honey. I can make honey, but there are laws about what monster girls can sell. You can't sell anything that comes out of your own body if it's going to be eaten, unless you have a very specific license for it. The spider girls here always like to rub that last part in my face. Of course, it only says I can't sell it. I can give my honey away to friends. A darn shame, too, 'cause it's the thickest, richest, sweetest honey you'd ever taste. But who knows? Maybe if we get acquainted, I'll give you a little jar. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Now, let me show you what kind of honeys I have for sale today. I've been experimenting with some unusual kinds, so if you're feeling a little adventurous, well, then today is your lucky day. Of course, there's different kinds, sweet pea. I suppose I can't hold it against you for not knowing, though. Let me show you. First off, we do have clover honey. That's usually what you see in the grocery store. It's always a tasty little option, but perhaps a little safe. If you want something that's a new experience, but not too unusual, I'd recommend wildflower honey. It's gonna be a little bit different every time because it comes from so many different flowers, but the ones around my farm usually make honey that's very floral. It tastes fresh and sweet, just what honey ought to be. Over here, we've got buckwheat honey. You can just tell from the color it's gonna taste real different. With buckwheat honey, you want it as dark as you can find. I'm real proud of mine. It's practically black. Be warned though, it's actually a touch bitter, but it can have a nice nutty flavor too. It's a more mature honey, you could say. I know. I bet you didn't know honey could be like that. Want to try a little bit? Hmm. Perfect. All right, I'll just scoop some of this up onto one of these little spoons. Here you go, sweet pea. See what you think. Sure is good, ain't it? Oh, and you'll most certainly want to try the orange blossom. Just like you might expect, orange blossom has a nice citrusy taste to it. It's great on toast, of course, but you know what I like to use it for? I add it to my homemade barbecue sauce. Simply divine. Oh, and this here is fireweed honey. And get this, there's just a touch of spice to it. You'd never think honey could be spicy now, would you? Oh, but listen here, if that's your thing, I have some real hot honey. It's not naturally that spicy, of course, but I like to add a little diced dried chilies to it. That ain't for everyone, but the people that do like it, oh my word, they really do like it. But no matter what honey you get, I can guarantee it's going to be delicious. As you might expect, I am quite in tune with my bees. You have to be a bee to know what they need, you know. I know exactly what kind of flowers to plant and how far away and in what direction. I know how to check in on my bees without agitating them and how to harvest the honey. There's not a single person on God's green earth that can top my honey, sweet pea. No offense to the other sailors, of course. They try their best, bless their hearts. But they just can't feel what their bees need the way I do. And believe me, sugar, bees need a lot right now. You've heard about how they're disappearing, haven't you? Mm, mm. A real shame. The thing is, in this part of the world, it's not even really the honeybees that we ought to worry about. They get care and protection from the beekeepers, so they're not struggling too bad. It's the local bees that need help. That's why I take extra special care to watch over all the local bee species, too. I have a little sanctuary just for them where they can come and get food and shelter when they need it. I don't get any honey out of it, but it just feels good knowing that I'm doing my part. Well, my mama did always say that my heart was a bit too big for my thorax. I just can't help it. I gotta care just as I gotta breathe. Mind, I don't just care about bees, I care about people too. I like listening to folk stories, so I've got you here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, sugar? Hmm. Well, now that's mighty interesting. How'd you get into that? That must take up quite a lot of your time. Oh, is that right? And is that why you're at the farmer's market here today? My, well, ain't that a story? Are you sure you have time to be chatting with me? It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. Well, if you say so. Seeing that you have a bit of time then, how about some nice iced tea? I have a thermos down around here somewhere. There. And the best part, I sweetened it up with my own honey. That is, the honey I made myself. You can taste the difference. Trust me. I did say that that's true, but I also said I share my honey with friends, and I don't know about you, but I feel as though we're fast friends already. Don't you agree, sugar? Of course you do. All right then. Have a drink of this then, sweet pea. Oh, ain't it? I told you can taste the difference. I'm awful proud of this batch. Oh, it's a decent bit of work. Let me tell you, it is not easy to collect a lot of nectar when you're human-sized. I can't just stick to one type to make a decent batch, so it's basically wildflower honey, but this last batch was mostly monkey flower. That's a good plant for bee girls, make the whole mess of nectar. And you know what? Just because I like you so much, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I make my honey extra special by adding in a little bit of some royal jelly. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Bee girls can make royal jelly the same as any bee. Add it to my honey to make the flavor real deep and complex. It actually doesn't taste so good on its own, but just a little smidge of it and some honey really makes the flavors pop. Sorry. I suppose I get a little carried away when it comes to honey. Surprise, surprise, am I right? Some of my family don't really like me being in the honey business. Says it makes folks think we people can't do much else, but I can't help it. It's been something I've always been fascinated by ever since I was a little grub. As a matter of fact, I was. Bee folk always start out as little grub babies. It's a lot cuter than it sounds. I'll show you some pictures of my niece sometimes. You will absolutely die. Come to think of it, you'll have to come over sometime. Is that too forward? You came here just to buy something, and now here I am saving your tea and invite you over to look at pictures. I hope it's not off-putting. Well, quite an enthusiastic answer, sugar. I'm thrilled to hear it. Well, as long as you're all right with it, how about I give you my number? Mind if I borrow your phone for a spell? Alright, and, well, there we go. And you can just text me anytime. I would just love to hear from you. To be honest, things have been a little lonely for me lately. Most of my friends have recently moved away, so I haven't really had anyone to spend any time with. And I have to say, you make for very pleasant company. And, hmm, you know, since you've just come and brightened my day, why don't you take a jar of honey on the house? Oh, I insist, sugar. Besides, I'm positive that you'll be back for more. I have the whole bushel of loyal customers who've been hooked ever since the first taste. But I already get the feeling that you'll be my favorite customer of all. In fact, take your pick of these. And I'll throw in a jar of my own personal honey, too, 'cause I just like you that much. Well, sure. It's a special gift because you're such a special person. You've been such a dear listening to me jabber on for so long. You're sweeter than any jar of honey in this stall, and cuter than a fuzzy little bumblebee, too. Oh, now, come on, don't be so bashful. Just makes you look too precious when you can't look me in the eye. You better quit it now. I'll have to scoop you up and bring you home with me. Well, you've been just lovely to talk to, but I ought to let you get to shopping. You still haven't got what you came to the market for. Well, here you go. Here's your honey, and good luck, all right? Don't take too long to text me, you hear? I already can't wait to talk to you again. Y'all take care now. Bye bye, sweet pea.